What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are all good. Just wanted to talk about a little bit of internet privacy today, because things are really going crazy nowadays with internet privacy. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about something called Section 230. It's probably something that not everyone's familiar with, but it is a law that is in talks to get repealed in the United States government. And it would be really bad if it gets repealed. What's up, everybody? What's up, Victor? I'm Very Person, Majestic Striker, Artsy. Sorry, I can't say hello to everybody. Chat's moving fast, but yeah. Welcome in, everybody. So yeah. Oh my God, 200 people here. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so just want to talk to you guys about something called Section 230. So for those of you guys that don't know, Section 230 is basically a law that gives legal immunity to the websites that we use. So that way, if I say something fucked up on the internet, like let's say I hate a certain group of people, let's say I post that on Twitter, Twitter won't be held liable for it because I'm the one saying it, not Twitter, right? So if this law gets repealed, which it is in talks of right now, then basically what will happen is Twitter would be held liable for what I say, and that is going to result in Twitter getting sued a lot, you know, for defamation and whatever, right? So that would mean that Twitter would have to heavily restrict the speech on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever it happens. Does that make sense, guys? Hopefully that explains it. But yeah, basically, if this law gets repealed, it would be really, really bad, right? So a lot of people are starting to talk about this right now. And one person that was talking about this is Some Ordinary Gamers. He made a video talking about, you know, us losing internet privacy. We're going to watch a few of the, you know, like the Senate hearings of it as well. But yeah, I kind of wanted to watch this video with you guys today so you guys understand what's going on. And for those of you guys saying, oh, this will never happen, whatever, remember, we all did the same with age verification. And now it's going global, you know what I mean? But yeah, so basically, we're going to watch his video. He's going to explain it. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, and let me know how the sound is, guys. Let me turn the music off real quick. All right. Ready?
Privacy, but really I think Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and you know, we have very little time left. Now ladies and gentlemen, I know that I've made a ton of videos about your
If
internet
this happens, it'll be
censorship,
really
privacy, but really I think 2025 is the last year we're gonna have a internet that is, I guess you could say, free of censorship, an internet
Shout out
that
to
is
everybody
free
for
of
being here, by the way.
surveillance,
Appreciate you
and
guys.
governments that don't want to track every single thing that you do. Now look, not that they don't already do it, but
Yeah,
generally,
thank you for the donation. It's Terranex. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's up, Andrew and Doko on Twitch?
I'm gonna be real with you. We're gonna look at a lot of things today, but before we start off with, I
We are
want to
also
link you
streaming on
guys
Twitch, by the way, twitch.tv/DeepHumorYT.
to a website known as badinternetbills.com. Okay. Now, I'm somebody that's seen some of the wildest shit on the internet. Okay. You know, I had dark web browsing, deep web browsing, dank web browsing, God knows how much true crime stuff, cat killers, animal killers, Satan cults, everything. I've seen the worst of humanity, and it is truly disgusting. And nobody. And the reason I mention this is because I know it's a thing that you have to do to protect kids. Okay, the laws that you're seeing over here, repealing Section 230, the Kids Online
Hopefully the sound
Safety
is good,
Act,
by the way,
take it
guys.
down, the
Let me know.
Screen Act. A lot of these acts are not meant to protect children. They're meant to use children in a way to push laws that promote censorship and absolutely allow shady third-party companies to take all of our data in droves.
Obviously, I agree with this point, right? This is something that we talk about in pretty much every single video that I make. A lot of times when they do this whole age verification thing, they use kids as a scapegoat and they say we're trying to protect the privacy of kids online and keep them safe and whatever. But when you mandate everybody, and I mean literally everybody, to have an ID and to provide that ID to a social media website, obviously, bro, if YouTube gets hacked, we are screwed. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, how many people have to provide you YouTube ID verification just to, you know, do basic things, right? So if that ever happened, we would be in a lot of trouble, right? What's up, Bob the guy and loser guy thingy on Twitch?
Now, you know in Australia,
What's up,
dropped ththose crazy laws
What up,
regarding
Victor?
censorship. It's not that
Gonna
they
try to say
came out
hello
of
to as many
nowhere.
people as I
This
can.
fat Indian fuck that you're seeing on the screen was yapping about it 365 plus days ago, okay? Because I believe the internet should be a free last bastion of human freedom, okay? I don't like living in a world where the goddamn big state can watch every single thing that I can do. Even though they do, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. I still wish there were ways for me to avoid the government spying on me. So again, I did show
Yeah,
you in my videos,
that's a fair
buying
point, Parappa,
cryptocurrency with
and a lot of people would think that, right? But I'm pretty sure if you were to go back a year from today's date, a lot of people would not think that age verification would become a global thing, right? I'm pretty sure most of us didn't think that would happen, right? Well, look at where we are, you know. So this is the type of stuff that we have to nip in the bud at the beginning. I mean, right now they're talking about repealing this law. If we don't pay attention to something like this right now, then it's going to become a huge situation where all these social media companies are going to be forced to limit everybody's speech. What's up, Super Sniper?
without showing ID, using it to purchase VPN services without showing ID, accessing the internet without showing your ID. The last little bit of privacy to prevent the big bad government from spying on me. Now, obviously, Australia passed their dogshit internet laws. And for instance, here's the thing that always makes me laugh about the whole idea of like these laws protecting kids. Now, obviously, you've got people in Australia saying, it doesn't really make any sense, okay? Why didn't you mention gaming platforms, for instance? Gaming and social media are so
Thanks, Nightingale.
interconnected. Why don't you target kids that play video games? And maybe there's some validity to
Oh
that,
yes,
okay? Kids who are
Sumori. You said they better not touch VPNs. VPNs are actually in question in a lot of countries right now of potentially getting banned because people, obviously, the government see it as a tool to circumvent the whole ID verification laws. So yeah, they are trying to ban VPNs in certain countries. Hey, thank you for becoming a member. It's Terranex. Get some W's for my guy slash gal. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
spending so many hours on video games, maybe even addicted to that shit. If you go to the actual list that is provided by the Australians here, you can see that they say these are the actual websites that they're going to be banning. Okay, what platforms are age restricted? So you go over here and you just start to see what is actually age restricted, and it's Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Reddit, Snapchat,
So
Thread.
I assume he's already going to make this point, but just to jump ahead, this is something that I've talked about in other videos. Look at the platforms that Australia is going to restrict because they think they're dangerous for kids, and look at the platforms that they gave a fucking pass. They gave Discord and Roblox a pass. What? Discord has so much, inappropriate child material. Obviously, I'm not going to go into details, but it has a lot of inappropriate child material on Discord, actual legal content, and Roblox is full of 9-year-olds that get like groomed and like a lot of grooming happens on Roblox. And they're trying to protect the fucking kids, quote for quote. That's their whole message that they're saying, right? But Roblox and Discord, arguably the two most dangerous platforms for children, didn't get banned or didn't get restricted. What the fuck, man?
TikTok, Twitch, X,
I assume
and
he's going to make
YouTube.
this point. I haven't
So
seen this video, obviously.
again, I get it. I understand there's probably a lot of bad shit on these platforms, and obviously kids will not be able to create accounts or in some cases have access. Okay, without an account, you can't even go on sites like Twitter. I think without an
Hello,
account,
Evie.
you can't even access Snapchat or Threads. And maybe TikTok is pretty light. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you're
can
right,
browse
Jaden.
some of these sites without being connected, but the things that are actually not prevented are sites like Discord, GitHub, which makes sense. I mean, what kind of filthy code could you be sharing, right? Lego Play, Messenger, Pinterest, Roblox, Steam, WhatsApp, and YouTube. Sorry, YouTube Kids. Now, here's the really funny thing about it. If you really gave a
I
shit
really
about
hope that he brings up the point about Discord and Roblox because those two platforms in specific are super dangerous.
children to begin with, why the fuck isn't Roblox thrown into the
Thank
list? I
you.
mean,
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad he said it. Because, like, I mean, what the fuck, right? Like, Roblox. I mean, I'm sure literally everybody here knows who Schlepp is. But for those guys that don't know, Schlepp is literally a Roblox. Like, he was catching predators on Roblox and actually getting them arrested. Like he would call the cops to get them arrested. I think, like, one of them got convicted or something like that. Like, he's actually was trying to get predators off of Roblox, and they banned him. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? The fact that they decided not to include Roblox in their whole age restriction thing is unbelievable. Because and their reasoning was, "Oh, Roblox is not technically social media. It's more of a gaming platform." Well, I mean, it still has social media aspects to it. It should have gotten it should if Australia actually gave a shit about protecting the kids, it should have included Roblox.
Blocks thrown into the list. I mean, the
What's
litany
up,
of
Salmon Smoked? Thank you for the $2. Age verification is only for surveillance. I swear to God, I definitely agree. It is all about collecting information because biometric data is super important for governments to have if they want to make a shitload of money. You know, so that's why they are mandating government IDs and facial scans and stuff like that. So I agree with your point. Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it.
children being groomed on this website is actually fucking mind-boggling. Okay, like
Yeah,
I'm gonna be completely real with you. This site, out of the entire list, should probably have like triple scrutiny on it. Discord, I've actually heard from a lot of people, is being used in schools. I'm a little bit too old to know that. Okay, back in the day, there used to be dedicated platforms for school shit,
that's
like where you had
wild
to
that they
submit like
use Discord in school. Nah, I'm old, just like him. I don't know. That's the thing.
papers and whatnot. But you know, I've seen things like Google Classroom in my time. You know, suites like this. But Roblox, okay, sites like Messenger, okay, platforms like Discord. I mean, Discord might be the only platform where like some random one time sent
What's
me
up,
like
Chalky?
actual like CP. And this was like the only time I ever received this on a platform, and that was fucking filthy. It was the only
Yeah,
time
yeah.
where I had
Discord. I don't know why, but it does a really trash job in moderating horrible, you know, content. I don't even want to get into it, but content of kids. You know, it does terrible job moderating it.
to go to Discord, obviously, file a report, and then I had to go file a report of the FBI like cyber tips,
Exactly,
and
loser
then
guy.
even I believe going after the RCMP because you know that's our version of the FBI in Canada. How the fuck is that platform not targeted under this ban? Okay, and by the way, pro tip for Discord: make sure you always set your DMs to like a complete like neutered. Like the only person that can DM you are like your actual friends. Just keep your sanity in mind there. But you get the idea, okay? These are all platforms. If they really cared about the kids, they definitely let two platforms survive this list that should have easily been
Hey,
put
thank you
into
for the
the
$5.
ban for
It's
children.
Terranex. It's not for the kids. Let the parents do their jobs. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is a point that we frequently make in our videos as well. I mean, like like with the whole age verification thing, man, it is such a slippery slope in terms of like actually demanding ID from people. Like, remember, this wasn't a thing back in the day. Like when I was growing up in fucking the 1600s, you know what I mean? We didn't have age verification ID crap. I mean, parents just did their jobs, right? So the fact that it's being mandated now is pretty silly. Hey, thank you so much for the $1 MSF 2018. I can't read. I appreciate it. You guys don't have to donate money, guys, but I appreciate your guys' support. Thank you guys so much.
Category. So, anyways, Discord aside, Australia aside, it's already fallen, okay? The UK's fallen with its bullshit, like, age verification laws. Canada is apparently looking at things like digital identification and age verification.
And Canada is, by the way, being forced to have age verification by Meta, the company behind Facebook. So, fuck Meta, man.
and all that kind of stuff too. But the United States is one of those places where you think it's the last bastion of real freedom, right? Not necessarily. You have dogshit politicians like this Representative Mary Miller, okay, who is representing the District of Illinois. She has gone on and said, "We are one step closer to implementing mandatory age verification technology to protect our kids from explicit adult content online. The days of the porn industry profiting off of our kids are coming to an end."
And you know, the thing is, right? And I know he's about to start criticizing her, right? The thing is that like when they talk about profits, these people are so fucking hypocritical because they are the ones that are going to be profiting off of having our IDs. The government is going to be the ones that are profiting off of collecting all of our information, data mining us, and then fucking selling it to whoever, you know, for to train their systems and all that crap. I mean, this is all about money at the end of the day. So it's really disingenuous from people like this, man.
The porn industry profiting off of our kids are coming to an end. Now, again, she's using children here, and this is where I do tend to agree, right? Kids should not be looking at adult media on the internet, okay? You know what? And you know the best way to stop children from doing that? When you buy your kids a fucking iPhone or an iPad or a computer or something, It's up to you to figure out how parental controls work, motherfucker. You're the parent buying.
Literally every single device that you will buy nowadays will have some type of way to restrict what type of websites or apps that your kid can restrict. You don't need the fucking government to do it. Literally just Google how to block certain websites and you could do it on a computer or you could do it on a phone. You don't have to be a tech genius. You just have to try. And so the fact that the parents don't even want to try to parent the kids is what annoys me.
These kids. You think a kid out there in this economy is probably purchasing a fucking iPhone? Okay, it's probably
Parents are
easier
just
for
too lazy.
kids
Exactly.
to score pot than to stick a RAM these days. So again, if you're a parent purchasing your child technology, I'm sorry, you better be there.
Chosen one. The fact the politics are all corrupt. It's really unfortunate that it's always that way. You know.
Monitoring your kids. You know, our family computer used to be in the living room, okay? And it
Exactly,
was there.
McNoll. There's a
I
lot
didn't
of
like
good information on the internet that is now being restricted.
it, but you know, it was there. You know, my parents were like watching what I did. You know, and look, kids do come across stuff like this. I did. You know, we were caught. My dad comes up and he's like, "Listen, we got to have the
Yeah,
talk."
tea is
And
very
my dad
tasty,
had to talk to
Durnix.
me, explain to me at a young age. You know, pornography is something that is definitely sparking curiosity, but it's definitely something that is addictive, and it's
I
something
agree,
that
Abel.
can rot your brain, and it's something that can lay a false sense of understanding. My dad
When
was
are they
able to
voting
do
on
that.
230?
Okay,
I
I don't
don't
know
know
why
yet. I just know that it's being discussed and being repealed
dads aren't able to do that now. I don't know why moms aren't able to do that
because they're
now.
fucking lazy.
But you're a parent, okay? You brought a living soul into this world. You better be able to take care of it and nurture it and not rely on the state ruining our fucking, like, you know, privacy and adding surveillance to us just because you can't manage to think of taking care of your kid. Don't have kids if you can't take care of them, okay? It's just
Exactly.
that simple. We're a
Exactly.
fucking overpopulated planet anyways.
It's such a weird concept that parents nowadays want the government to raise their children for them. I mean, this is something that like I have shown in multiple videos, but like there's a specific poll. Oh my god, I'm gonna try not to go on an angry rant here, but every time I look at this poll, it makes me lose my mind. But this right over here. So, Fox, I think on Fox.com, they conducted a poll saying, "Do you agree with Australia's ban on social media for children under 16?" So they're literally asking, "Do you agree with Australia mandating ID age verification?" Look at the fucking results of the poll. Like an overwhelming yes, right, of these fucking parents that clearly don't know how the internet works at all, or they're just dumb, I guess. And it's like they really think that the best way to protect their children would be to mandate ID age verification. What the fuck? You know, like it literally makes no sense, dude.
Okay, some dumb fucks can afford not to have kids. Okay, it might actually be better for the goddamn gene pool. But anyways, this isn't, you know, me having a gas here. This is
Yeah,
the
you're
actual
right,
text.
Turnix.
Which
I mean, that's all. It all started with the UK Online Safety Act. It was supposed to just be to stop kids from seeing adult material on the internet. Then it turned into you need it for Spotify, YouTube, and literally everything. Thank you so much, Stargazer. I appreciate it.
as you can see, I've opened it, I've seen it, I've read it, I've talked about it actually.
Yeah,
before.
it's possible. Yupper dabber. Maybe the poll is botted or fake or somehow. But it's just seeing that poll overwhelmingly skewed towards yes just pissed me off.
Itself. Now this is brought in, and this is something that keeps getting introduced. And you know, in literally the last, I want to say, day, like yesterday, we were having the fucking Game Awards, which, by the way, that Gang of Dragon game looks pretty good. I'm just gonna say off, you know, just out here, Expedition 33 basically butt fucked every other goddamn award.
Yeah, I
But
don't know if you
as that
guys
was
care about the
happening
Game Awards, but I was watching that a little bit. Expedition 33 won like every award.
And it seems like, you know, the government wants to silently flush this stuff through. So again, let's read the Screen Act really carefully once again. They do talk about, you know, things like child pornography. They talk about, obviously, these things being harmful to minors. And of course, it's great
Hopefully
that
the
they
volume is good,
define this
guys.
kind
Hopefully
of
it's not
stuff.
too loud,
But
too
to
quiet.
go into what they're going to do in terms of enforcing, let's actually read that really closely. So, for instance, requirements for age verifications, where again, they want to talk about using a technology measure to verify a user's age, provide that requiring a user to confirm that the
You
user
think
is
that
not a
we
minor
have
shall
to take
not
a
be
page out of
sufficient to
Nepal's
satisfy the
playbook? You mean trying to overthrow the government? I mean, that's not really going to work in the United States, I'll be honest. uh, they got nukes and stuff over here. I don't know.
requirement of subsection A, make publicly available the verification process that the covered platform is employing to comply with the requirements under this act. So subject the internet protocol addresses and known VPN addresses, because Again, they want to address the VPNs that are being used to bypass these age verifications to begin with. The thing about it is, there's really no way to implement this stuff without, again, restructuring the internet. Okay, you have to go to a point where you get rid of all privacy, or you get rid of. There's no half measure here. Okay, it's either you have full, complete Minority Report level data surveillance, which I think is what the government truly wants, or you keep things like encryption available, you keep things like privacy available for the betterment of everyone. You can't have it halfway. Okay, you can't kind of have a backdoor and not have a backdoor at the same time, because ultimately any hacker could possibly abuse it, another government could actually abuse it, right? We've
I mean, the
talked about
hacker
other
thing,
countries
like
being.
that's not even like a debatable thing. It's already happened, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know what happened with Discord. I'm pretty sure I made a video on it. Let's see. Did I not make a video about it? Maybe I just mentioned it in the video. But yeah, Discord got hacked after mandating age verification, ID age verification. And they say, hold on, Discord ID leak. They say it was something like 70,000 users who had their IDs leaked. But I'm pretty sure it's way more than that. Like, Discord is not going to, be honest about the numbers because it's going to make them look bad. But 70,000 people have their IDs floating in the internet right now, and the hackers have access to it, which means if those hackers, want to make some money, they can go ahead and sell that biometric data. And yeah, that's pretty bad, right? And so now this could happen to any of these social medias that are mandating age verification, like YouTube.
Used to bypass warrants, other countries cyber attacking each other all the time. As we're talking right now, there are literally military cyber operators going at each other right now as we're speaking. We're in the middle of an actual war, and we can't even see it because it's happening over internet cables.
That is a good point.
Different point. Now, one of the things that I want to kind of bring up here too is another issue, which is getting rid of Section 230. So apparently both sides are working together to try and repeal Section 230. Now, for all the ill Section 230 will have, to give you an idea what the big problem that comes out of this is Section 230 was basically a bill or a set of laws really to prevent...
so I already explained this at the beginning of the stream, but just for anyone joining right now, Section 230 basically stops websites from being held liable for the shitty posts that their users make. If this gets repealed, that means that the websites will be held liable. They want to avoid lawsuits, so they're going to start restricting everybody on the user's ability to say what they want to say. And basically, it would be a mass repealing of freedom of speech, basically. Thank you for the $2 MSF. Is there a way to talk to you besides live streams? Like directly reach out to me? You can DM me on Twitter or Discord.
Safe harbor provisions to a lot of these platforms.
Thank you for the $2 MSF.
Right? And it basically prevented these platforms from ever peeking into our lives, so to speak. Now, if you repeal Section 230, basically you push the requirement of moderation, I believe, onto these organizations, which ultimately means that the Section 230, which initially did provide us a level of user privacy because, the companies were never incentivized to use data gathering or gather information off of us. Now they kind of have to. Now they kind of are required to. And the thing about getting rid of Section 230 is that ultimately at the end, I think for certain tech companies, it's actually something that they would want because it allows them a reason to harbor more user information and gather it than they're ever legally required to in the first place. Now, ultimately, when you look at some of these laws, for
instance, I have any opinions about parents who are supporting this? Yeah, I've said it in multiple videos. I mean, I think that they're just uninformed. I know I've called them dumb in videos, but obviously that was just an expression of frustration. But I think that they're uninformed because a lot of people hear about, oh, this law is going to be protecting kids. And everyone's like, yeah, that's awesome. We should protect kids on the internet. But when you realize that it comes with the cost of the privacy of literally everybody who wants to use the internet, it's not instead, you are so unwilling to just be a parent and do your job and monitor what your kids do that you are willing to put the privacy of billions of people in the world at risk just so the government can babysit your kids. It's pretty selfish and stupid opinion, to be honest.
The most succinct explanation of this is that, listen, things like the Screen Act...
Yeah, that's a good point. Indirect influx. In short, the government relies on people not doing research. Very correct. Yeah.
Requirements for websites that...
I mean, I'm a dummy. I'm not a smart person at all. But
What
look
is
into
a
this
site
type of
that's
stuff because
harmful to
it's
minors?
important.
It doesn't always have to be a site that talks about pornography. I mean, it could be a site that talks about, LGBTQ issues. It could be a site that talks about something else entirely. Anything that any government at any time, whether they be left or right, may deem harmful to minors, right?
And what he just said is another thing that is, a very worrying thing about this whole situation that's happening both with age verification and Section 230 is both sides of the political spectrum in America are in favor of this shit. Literally both the one thing that these two fucking sides finally agree on. They're always usually fighting about stupid shit. Now they finally fucking agree on one thing, and it is to take the privacy away from everybody in their country.
I mean,
Crazy,
there's
man.
a lot of ways you can interpret this, and ultimately, if you're somebody that cares about your rights and freedoms, you typically want to fight for those rights and freedoms and cast aside your political aspersions. But, anyways, far from promoting safety, it would force websites to contract with shady third party verification companies. Those same companies that, by the way, allowed some of our driver's IDs to be leaked to the world. And then, of course, these people can store and collect incredibly sensitive information like driver's licenses and passports, right? Two of the most secure documents, documents that you need to open very important accounts in your life. In insecure databases, with backing from far right politicians and conservative anti porn groups, it's clear what this bill is really intended to do censor our access to the internet while collecting our data in droves. And I do tend to agree with that. Most privacy people tend to agree with that.
Yeah, thank
You
you
know,
for the £2, Zuko. 2025 social media is better than 2026 gaming, and then 2027 in-home. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. It is getting to the point where privacy will be dead, and it'll just be all surveillance. But the good news is that we can all band together and talk about it, and we can make sure our votes go in the right places, right? So, yeah, thank you for the £2, Zuko. I appreciate it. I assume your name is a reference to Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, goated show.
most people that don't want the government looking into every single aspect of their fucking life because the government is run by incompetent nut jobs and people that literally
Facts.
hand jobs to other people in the sector on the basis of deals they make in shady back rooms, right? Like,
True.
let's be completely real. Things like the Kids Online Safety Act are not going to protect children.
And
Ultimately, at the end of
see,
the
like,
day,
and the thing is, like, if you saw, like, he mentioned conservative politicians in specific, I mean, regardless of whichever side is doing it, like, let's say I lean one way or the other, it's the fact that it's happening and both fucking parties think it's a good idea. It becomes a situation where, like he was saying earlier, like, even if you support one party over the other, we should all come together and realize how fucking stupid this is. You know what I mean? This is a situation where this goes beyond party lines. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, you're a Democrat, so I don't like you, or you're a Republican, so I don't like you. Dude, they're trying to take away fucking internet privacy for everybody. That's nuts. You know what I mean? Both people who support either party in this country should come together to try to stop this, is what I'm saying.
it's up to your parents, it's up to our communities to protect children's
What's up,
themselves, right?
EBK?
We can't basically throw the baby out with the bathwater just because you want to use the think of the kids excuse out there. At some point, harsh realities have to be faced. And it's not just the internet we have to be worrying about too. Even countries as free and welcoming as the United States has interesting things. And this is just something else that I noticed too when it came to the Customs and Border Patrol. Visitors that are
But
coming
seriously,
in
what's the
have
chance
to
of 230
provide
repeal
what
actually
seems
happening? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if the repeal will happen or it won't. But, I will answer your question with another question. What is the chances of age verification internationally actually happening? I think if you were to ask that question a year or two ago, most people would say, that's not going to happen. Well, look at the laws right now. You know what I mean? So I would rather be safe than sorry. That's why I wanted to talk about this today.
to be, again, high value information, high value data fields, right? Which again could be things like telephone numbers used in the last 5 years,
Thank you, loser guy.
email addresses used in the last 5 years, IP addresses,
We all
and
need to move to
metadata from
Antarctica. Yeah, at
electronic
this
photos.
point, the only continent that has full privacy is goddamn Antarctica. So we're just gonna have to all live with the penguins. You guys want to make an igloo together? Thank you for $2 Australian. It's Terra next. Hello, here's two upside down kangaroo dollars. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for your support today. Numerous donos and becoming a member. Appreciate it, man.
Photos, family member names, family member telephones, date of birth, places of
Let me know
birth,
if you guys want to make an igloo together in
residencies,
Antarctica.
basically every single personal piece of information when entering the country. Now, again, any country can request this, but I definitely can see this impacting like just fucking pleasure travel to the
Governments are
United
about
States.
to
I mean,
censor penguins as a way to protect the kids. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we got to censor those penguins, man.
a lot of places to go to. A lot of countries don't ask for all this, but you can see the future we're headed to, right? Like censorship and surveillance. You know, we used to read books back in the day, like 1984, things of that nature.
I would
And
imagine, by
you
the
know,
way,
the
that
future.
that book. I know you guys always bring it up. That George Orwell book. I wonder if the sales of that book are high now, because everybody keeps talking about it. Imagine, like, I feel like they probably made a lot of money from this whole thing that's going on right now.
Used to be pieces of fiction. These used to be dystopian pieces of fiction. Dystopia implying that you didn't fucking want that in the future. Now we're here. We're there, boys. 2026 and beyond. You know, it's the fucking year beyond of like constant surveillance, constant data gathering, and I guarantee
Thank you,
you,
dog. What up? I appreciate
children
it.
will be just as much of a threat as they are now, and the
I mean, I'm
politicians
no
will
one
be
special. I just
allowing
want to talk about things that I feel are important. You know what I mean? This is fucking important. If this gets repealed, we're gonna be in trouble.
all of their shady friends in big tech circles to keep this stuff going. Even the
It's
big
actually on the
tech
bestsellers, really.
agencies
Yeah.
can't necessarily agree on how to make sure they can protect children. For instance, even sites like Meta, for instance, they're pushing the actual bullshit onto platforms like Apple, like Apple and Google. Like at least in Kanakistan, Meta poses like new age verification laws at Apple. They're basically saying, listen, guys, stop bullying us. Go to like Apple, go to Google. They're the ones that can verify ages on the App Store. And of course, when it comes to Apple themselves, they're just sitting over there going, hold on a minute, we've got to fight back, and we don't want to be the ones that are doing it because it could harm, privacy for everyone
Yeah,
else.
say what you want about Apple, and I said this in this video that I made a few days ago, right? Say what you want about Apple. Let's say they're doing it for selfish reasons, which I pointed out in the video. That could be the case. At least a fucking giant company like Apple is actually trying to fight against the government to try to stop age verification from becoming global on app stores. Even if they're not doing it for the right reasons, the fact that it's happening is a good thing in itself. Thank you for the $5 a byte, deity. This will be crazy expensive to fund. I can only hope it leads to economic collapse and reset before it gets real bad. Well, I wouldn't hope for economic collapse because that would cause billions or millions of people to be on the streets. So I wouldn't hope for that. But yeah, we definitely do need some type of great reset to make sure that these governments can't just keep violating our privacies. But thank you for the $5, man.
I mean, you got Apple basically going and saying, listen, it could threaten the privacy of all users by forcing millions of adults to surrender their private information for the simple act of downloading an application. Not that you don't have to
Yeah,
submit
King
some of
Zell,
your
I've
private
made
information.
videos talking about that. So I was talking about the fact that Ofcom, which is the asshole company in the UK, or not company, but like their Office of Communications, they were basically like threatening websites like 4chan. I made a video on that for sure. I forgot when I made it, but it was something along the lines of them telling 4chan, yeah, you guys better have age verification or we're going to sue you guys and we're going to fine you guys this amount of money. And 4chan was just like, fucking no, we're not doing that. I mean, you guys are in the UK. Why the hell would we listen to you guys? You know what I mean? And it turned into a whole thing. And yeah, there have been other companies and organizations that have been trying to fight back against the UK's bullshit. What's up, TK?
Information anyways, but you kind of get the idea, right? Like nobody wants to be the one that is in control of this. And look, big tech companies saying this is basically them admitting to the fact that this is a lot of responsibility to hold on to, right? Look, because at the end of the day, if anybody gets hacked, whether it be
Isn't
Meta,
Google
whether it
also
be
fighting the
Apple,
Texas app? I don't know. They might be. I know Google. I mean YouTube in general. Google made a statement against Australia's new law. I made a video right over here a week ago. If you guys haven't seen it already, YouTube made a big long statement talking about the fact that they don't support Australia's social media law because YouTube feels like the safety precautions that they already have set on the website are good enough to protect the kids, and they feel like Australia, by forcing kids to watch YouTube without being logged in, makes it more dangerous for kids. So yeah.
whether it be Google, it's a bad stain against them. And to some extent, you would have to think
Well,
that
thank you for
maybe
subbing,
there's some
Pack of Wolves.
validity to it.
Appreciate it.
Why are these companies so against it, right? Like obviously it's because they know that storing this kind of information in any capacity is ultimately a complete liability to them. And when you let the government decide this, they just go to the other shady company and let them control this too. Companies that don't have perfect age verification anyways. Even in the age of artificial intelligence, we've come across interesting situations where AI itself makes some severe fucking mistakes. These systems are not going to be 100% guarantee as opposed to the simple act of
I
parents
was hoping he
just
would reference some statistical data here, but it's okay. I got his back. There is some statistical data that I've referenced in a specific video. I've referenced it in a lot of videos actually. But so he was talking about the fact that even in the age of AI, the age verification systems aren't very good, right? This is a research conducted by the CCIA, which is actually the organization that is suing Texas for their whole App Store age verification thing. But let me just show you guys some of the statistics of the rate of accuracy for the facial scans. So for 18 to 24-year-olds, right? So let's say you're 19 years old and you submit a selfie to a facial age verification scan type thing. They say that there will likely be a bit of a missing, like they will misinterpret your age somewhere between 3 to 5 years, meaning you could be 19 and the facial scan might say that you're 14. You could be 18 and the facial scan will say that you're 23. That's a pretty big fucking cutoff, right? In terms of accuracy for 13-year-olds, they say only about 7.2 to 34.5% of 13-year-olds were correctly estimated within 1 year of their actual age. Not even like their actual accurate age, but 1 year. It was only up to about 34.5%, meaning most of them were wrong. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is this a DeepHumor live stream? No, this isn't live. This is pre-recorded. So anyways, there's also one for 17-year-olds where they say 4.7 to 30.3% of 17-year-olds were correctly estimated. So literally 70% of the 17-year-olds in this study were fucking, their age estimation was wrong. These are the systems that we're going to have to rely on. And these systems, even now in the big 2025, they're not accurate at all, you know?
being parents, okay? There's a lot of bad internet bills being passed, and there's just not a lot
Oh
of
yeah, the
time
Roblox one
left
specifically. Yeah, I heard the Roblox facial scan system is awful. Like I heard it's been doing a terrible job.
to fight back. Right now, there's still a way, right? Like if you're in America, if you're in Canada, if you're in the UK, I mean, the UK is kind of a lost place. If you're in Australia,
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, the UK is kind of fucked right now. I mean, their government has gone AWOL. Like, yeah, they're putting age verification on breathing over there, dude.
if you're in countries where this stuff is being jammed through because of dog shit politicians, here's a tip: grab your phone, look up who your local congressperson is, whether it be for your state or even your local area, call them up, find their email, and tell them that you don't like this shit, okay? Tell the
I agree. And I echo what he just said. This is something that I get asked all the time. And I've mentioned it in videos too. People always ask me, yeah, this type of shit is wrong, but what can we do? Right? That. So if you heard what Muda said, get your phone, see who your local lawmakers are, depending on your city, state, country, whatever, and just send them an email telling them that the fact that you don't like the idea of repealing Section 230, that you don't like all the age verification laws, and explain why. And that's going to be the best way to deal with the situation.
world. You don't have to share this video. Share the message with people around the world, okay? Share the message with people in your community. Let people know that you don't want this for a future, okay? Let people know that there are ulterior motives that are used in this that are not there for the protection of children.
Can you
Currently
talk
on
about the Children and Wellness in Schools Act? I'll take a look at that after this video. Thank you.
internet, you know, anytime children are actually under threat, there's still a lot of ways. There's still a system we have in place that I think is very effective, okay? Anytime children are threatened, we, you know, communicate with the NCMEC. Local law enforcement, federal law enforcement, state law enforcement can do a fair bit to
Hey, thank
fight
you for the
against them.
$5 byte. DD Section 230 has made everyone accustomed to the order demand bad. If this gets repealed, it will be prohibition all again. Yeah, it would definitely. Hopefully, it doesn't get repealed. That would be really bad.
This. Unfortunately, handing over all of our information to shady third parties is not an answer that we should ever be entertaining. But yeah, contact your local person. Fight back. You still can. There's a way to do it. But if you don't do it, then trust me, 2026 and beyond, get used to living in 1984 every single day of your life. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it, I.
And yeah, I would agree. So basically, I mean, everybody here, obviously the vast majority of us are in favor of no age verification, right? Because we understand the, ramifications of it, right? But for the people who don't think it's that big of a deal, those are the people that are a part of the problem, right? If you want to actually do something about it, like Muda said, Very simple. Get a phone, get a computer, go contact your local lawmakers and explain why you don't like these laws. So somebody said something about, what did you guys say? What? Children's wellness and what'd you guys say? Safety Act? Something like that. I'm old. I have a bad memory. Okay. Child safety. Is this for the UK just? Children's Wellness and School Act? Is it School Act? Okay. All right. Okay. Wellness in school. Somebody type the act in for me again so I can remember. Thank you for the $5. A boy named Blue. This will backfire horrifically on the governments in the world. Here's why. History has shown that when rights of people are infringed upon. Oh, you left us on a cliffhanger there. But thank you for the $5. He left us on a cliffhanger, but we're gonna have to find out the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right. Children's Wellness and Safety Act. Okay, thank you. Children's Wellness and Safety Act. Okay, it's the same thing. So, proposed established of. Can anyone give me a little TLDR? Is that a thing? Will give me a TLDR. Improving the health, safety, and well-being of unaccompanied children. Bill seeks to phase out large family-based placements of. Oh, yeah. This topic is a little out of my wheelhouse, to be honest. I don't really know what to say on that one. But I do have some other videos pulled up of Senate discussing Section 230. And like I said, this is a bipartisan thing. Both the Democrats and the Republicans are in favor of this. And yeah, it's fucking dumb.
Thanks very much.
But this is a little... is the music too loud or too quiet, guys? Just let me know. Yeah, here is some people in the Senate talking about repealing Section 230. Apparently this person over here says it's a vessel for evil. Okay. Too loud? Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. Is that better? Let me know.
Welcome and thank all of the witnesses. Ms. Woods, I'm sorry that this has become so personal for you. There's really not much that is worse than what you have been through, and I really admire that you've...
Okay, so we're missing some context. Obviously, some story was told just now, but yeah.
Talk about it, because it can't be easy, and I'm grateful to you. And Ms. Smolar, as a former United States attorney, I'm always impressed by the assistant United States attorney who did the real work, and I'm delighted that you are here. And Ms. Coffin, thank you for your
vessel for
advocacy.
evil is crazy. I don't know.
I want to pick up a little bit on where I understand Senator Graham was with respect to getting rid of Section 2.
You know, with all due respect, I agree with what you guys are saying in the chat. You know, obviously I love my old people out there, but it's true. Yeah, it's mainly older people that don't seem to understand the idea behind internet privacy and freedom. It's like people in politics who are like 65 and up that don't really understand why it's such a bad thing to mandate ID age verification and stuff. You know what I mean? It's fucking unfortunate that a lot of older people don't understand, you know, but obviously there's a lot of old people that do understand. So yeah, shout out to them.
230. I strongly believe that Section 230 has long outlived its use, and it is now a real vessel for evil that needs to come to an end.
Okay, let's hear them out, I guess.
Laws that Section 230 protects these big platforms from are very often laws that go back to the common law of England that we inherited when this country was initially founded.
See, this is not just him, right? But this is just a pet peeve of mine of when people speak about something, right? You just made an extremely bold statement, and you just said that this law is a vessel for evil, right? And now you're going off on a tangent about England. Fucking tell me why. I hate when people do this when they speak. Is that just me? Hopefully I'm not being an asshole, but like I hate when someone makes a super fucking bold statement and then obviously I'm wondering why you feel that way, but then instead of telling me, you go off on some random tangent. Get to the point. Get to the point, man.
I mean, these are long-lasting, well-tested, important legal constraints that they've met the test of time, not by the year or by the decade, but by the century.
It's politicianese. That's a good one, Ryan.
And yet, because of this crazy Section 230, these ancient and highly respected doctrines just don't reach these people. And it really makes no sense that if you're a internet platform, you get treated one way, you do the exact same thing, and you're a publisher, you get treated a completely different way. And so I think that the time has come. I think it's pretty widely known that there were a core 4 of us.
I mean,
ready to.
Is it me, or did he not explain why it was bad, though? He just said that social media companies and people are treated in different ways, and it shouldn't be the case. But why?
Proceed with a bipartisan bill, 2 and 2.
It's so difficult to like have dialogue with people who don't get to the fucking point when they speak. You know what I mean?
Important work, good work, valuable work.
In the most respectful way possible.
Making sure that other members of the committee.
Because I feel like if I was to have a conversation with this guy, I mean, why would he want to talk to me? I'm a nobody, right? But let's say I was to talk to him, I feel like I would just like literally be face palming as I'm listening to this guy, like just give me a 5-minute soliloquy of something that doesn't matter.
So the Senate have a chance to look at that and decide whether they want to join or not. And I'm at the stage right now where I think we just need to go.
What's up, Ghost?
We just need to file that bill and start moving. And everybody else can make up their decision.
I remember somebody left a comment one time when I was streaming, and they said that it's not a DeepHumor stream if you don't hear him drink water loudly. And ever since they said that, I've been insecure about drinking water.
Whether they want to join or not. But continuing to delay while people deliberate whether to join or not, you know, everybody's had plenty of time. I think this is fish or cut bait time. So I hope very much that we can proceed. I hope it's more than core 4. I hope it's core 8 or core 10.
Dude's been talking for 3
12,
minutes, and I don't even understand his point.
Unanimous on the committee. But it really makes no sense. And stories like Ms. Woods and like the story of the Rhode Island family that was affected show how alone and stranded people are when they don't have the chance to even get justice. You know, it's bad enough to have to live through the tragedy. It's bad enough to have to bear for the rest of your life.
Okay, I don't know what story he's referring to, but I assume it's something along the lines of like someone on the internet got bullied and then they ended up taking their life or something like that. I'm not saying that's what it is. I could be wrong, right? But when situations like that happen, it is really sad, but that doesn't mean that we fucking restrict everyone's ability to use the internet. People, you know, pass away by driving cars. Does that mean we should ban cars? You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's like a weird type of reasoning, because if your whole ideology is to protect kids from the internet, then don't let them use the internet at all by your logic. You know what I mean? So it's just such a weird argument that gets made sometimes about like, oh, this tragic thing happened on the internet, therefore nobody should be allowed to use the internet.
Life, that loss, but to be told by a law of Congress, you can't get justice because of the platform, not because the law's wrong, not because the rule's wrong, not because this is anything new, simply because the wrong...
Once again, I could be wrong. I don't know exactly what he's saying, but I assume what he's proposing is that, let's say someone gets bullied on Facebook, and then the person getting bullied ends up taking their own life, then Facebook should be held responsible or something. I think that's the point being made.
Type of entity created this harm. And, you know, I look at what was done with the lawsuit by the Connecticut families whose children were killed in grade school, and the accountability of a...
Okay, I'm gonna have to move on to the next video. This guy is just like, I can't listen to this guy anymore. Okay, let's listen to the next person. This is another person saying, I believe a senator, senator, right? Let's see. Amy Klobuchar. I believe they are a senator. Let's look up. Yeah, another senator talking about why Section 230 should be repealed. Thank you for another $2, Byte. Someone chose, man, the 1995 movie Hackers. Thank you for the $2, man.
And I think that sentiment that Senator Hawley expressed that many of us feel about the bills that have come through the committee and the work that we've done. We know that one bill that did pass that you noted, Ms. Coffrin, thank you, was the Take It Down Act that I authored with Senator Cruz, signed into law by President Trump. And as you know, that criminalizes...
Everyone looks bored AF. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know politics are important, but I can't imagine sitting in these fucking rooms and listening to this shit for hours. I would be so bored.
Distribution of and threats to distribute non-consensual intimate images, whether they are AI created or real. And I would also add, to echo some of my colleagues, particularly Senator Graham, that it's long past time to repeal Section 230. At the beginning of his efforts on
let's hear her out. Okay, let's see if she can actually give us a reason as opposed to the other guy.
that front, I had thought, well, no, maybe we can put in these rules in place and the tech companies will work with us. And that just hasn't happened. The opposite has happened. And as we approach this 30-year anniversary, maybe it's time to do a major assessment, which takes for any parent about 1 minute.
Just give me a reason, please. Give me a reason. These guys always end up going on a tangent. Tell me why you want to repeal Section 230.
To realize the harm that has been caused by all of this. I'd start with you, Ms. Woods. Thank you for your moving testimony. Can you talk about why even the threat of non-consensual distribution of explicit images can be tragic, and why it's so vital that the law covers...
Okay, so, just to cut her off a little bit, right? Like the whole distribution of non-consensual images and stuff, I understand what she's getting at, right? So should we get rid of iMessage? Because that type of stuff can happen there. Should we get rid of every type of messaging app ever? Like that logic is not good enough to repeal a law that gets rid of online privacy and freedom. I feel like it's a pretty shitty argument.
Rats, as the Take It Down Act does.
Yeah, get rid of speaking. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a number of things. First of all, our children aren't just handing out the nudes. They are being coerced into providing them in regards to creating safe spaces and different things of that sort. Once the threat behind the nude comes, it's not just the nude being in existence, it's all of the threats behind it to where they're questioning.
But what does this have to do with Section 230? I don't get it.
What they're actually doing, and they're becoming desperate and willing to do whatever they can to get rid of that image. It is embarrassing to them.
Basically, the logic here is like someone coerces your child to send them nudes on Facebook. So instead of going after the person that did that to your child, you go after Facebook. The fuck?
We tell kids all the time, if you put it on the internet, it won't go away. My son in particular was threatened. He was actually slated to be #1 in the state of Ohio in 110 hurdles. And they told him he would never run track again. They told him he would be labeled a pedophile because he was under 18 and they did have a nude photo of him. It becomes
What? Wait, someone had a nude photo of her son, so that means her son's gonna be labeled a pedo? Wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm lost. What?
Than the embarrassment of the actual picture, but the actual torture that comes after the picture.
Right.
And so by them being able to take it down as an option, it takes a weight off of them. Mm-hmm. And they are able to address all the other issues that come after it. But once we take that photo away, then we can battle everything else. And I think that helps them with that.
Thank you. And as you know, Ms. Coffrin, does the Take It Down...
Okay, someone correct me if I'm wrong, just to make sure I understand. I think what she's saying is there was a photo posted of her son's nudes on a social media platform, and the social media platform took down the photo so the person who posted the photo wouldn't be held liable. Am I understanding that correctly? I think that's what is being said. And if that's the case, then that's more on the person who posted the photo than, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm trying to understand her point, but it seems like to relate that to Section 230 is a pretty big stretch.
Ms. Coffrin does the Take It Down Act gives victims not only the rights with regard to the people doing this, but the rights to demand that the social media platforms take these images down. I wrote a piece today in the New York Times about AI and just how important it is to allow the states to keep doing their work while we're waiting on the leadership.
Did she just mention AI? Sorry, I zoned out.
Important it is to allow the states to keep doing their work while we're waiting about AI. Take these images down. I wrote a piece today in the New York Times about AI and just how important it is to allow the states to keep doing their work while we're waiting on the leadership to bring up these bills for a vote. I just believe that if you are not going to do anything federally, you better do something in the states, but also that you've got to hold these platforms liable. And could you talk about that?
Sure. The biggest threat that children face is not necessarily a criminal justice proceeding or the fear of what's going to be happening next. They just want their images down. So the threats that these bad actors are using against them is actually a recirculation of the same diatribes that we've been telling children for years in a prevention type method. Don't do this action.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow this argument, but this is so confusing, man.
Or once it's out there, it's always out there and you'll never get it back. That has to change. The Take It Down Act changes that significantly by requiring that company to within 48 hours to be able to be removing that. Children need to know that they have that right for that content to come down so that the threat to recirculate, there's power taken away from that and the child gets that power back. So that act is really revolutionary because historically what we've seen is companies taking, a week, 2 week, sometimes non-removals at all. And the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Okay, I don't think I can listen to this anymore. I don't understand. They lost me on the point that was being made. The most baffling thing is this lady here. Sorry, I forgot her name, but she was stating that she said earlier that someone had a photo of her son's nudes, and then the football team or something that he was playing for said that I think it was track. Like, they said that he's a pedo? What? I am fucking lost right now. I don't understand what the point there being there. I'm baffled right now. I don't understand the point that was being made. But regardless, that has nothing to do with Section 230. They're trying to hold the platforms liable for somebody posting their own son's nudes. Why not go after the person who posted the nudes? I mean, I assume the website wanted to take down those nudes because it's, what's it called? Inappropriate imagery of a minor. But it seems like the argument that's been being made is like that website would be removing evidence or something. I don't know. It's weird. But the point is that they mentioned things like the Takedown Act and the Screen Act, but it's really the whole Section 230 thing that I wanted to focus on. But yeah, Section 230, what's it called, is in discussion to really be repealed right now. And it is very, very unfortunate because that would basically be like a massive amount of censorship across the entire country and possibly world, because remember that most social media has been made in the United States, or at least most of the popular ones, But yeah, that is pretty crazy, man. I hopefully, whoa, we can get a good amount of subs. Hey, maybe we can hit 214,000 subs before this stream ends. But yeah, thank you for subbing, Ubear. I appreciate that. Any questions or comments that you guys got? I still got another another half an hour in me. Anyone confused about what Section 230 is, why it would be bad if it was repealed, anything like that? For real, why are you going after the platform, not the source? Exactly. Yeah, it's weird logic. It doesn't really make any sense. Let's get those likes up. Yeah, if you guys would like the video, I'd appreciate that. Do you have hope for the future? Of course. Of course. I mean, I always think that, we will prevail as citizens, I hope. I always like to look at everything glass half full, because there have been a lot of times on the internet when things were like really doom and gloom. I mean, you guys remember what happened in August in YouTube, right? I mean, that's where I had the biggest growth that this channel has ever seen. The very dreaded AI age verification thing on YouTube, you know? And now it is 4 months later, and a lot of people did, a lot of people did end up getting marked as under 18. But I mean, you know, some things we just kind of have to live with. And in fairness to YouTube, they were kind of forced to make that decision. Now, all the other stupid decisions that they've been making recently, like with AI moderation, YouTube is fully liable for that. I mean, YouTube's AI is fucking horrifically bad right now. And if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I have been on kind of a campaign right now to just absolutely roast YouTube anytime they tweet about anything, because I have been seeing myself on YouTube and Twitter, all the people, thousands of people saying they've been banned by YouTube's AI moderation. And for those of you guys that don't know, there's something called what's called the YouTube or the Google Transparency Report, where they actually show how many channels have been removed within the last certain amount of months, right? And it's been 7.5 million channels between July and September of this year. So a lot of channels are getting banned, and a lot of channels always get banned on YouTube. It's not necessarily a new thing, but it's definitely been a lot more. I know that they've made the argument to people before that they had way bigger bans, way more bans in other months, like between October 2023 and December, it was 20 million channels. And they said it was because there's been a lot of scam and deception on YouTube. But I've been reading some posts where there might actually be a good explanation on why a bunch of channels are getting banned. So there's this guy who made a tweet, was talking about the fact that out of nowhere, his channel got thousands of comments, like spam comments that had nothing to do with the video. Like they were talking about the Minecraft movie and shit under his video. And he's theorizing that the reason why his channel got banned for spam and deceptive practices is because of those comments. So instead of YouTube investigating, they just deleted the channel. That is not good, man. That is not good. And they've been replying to people left and right about some stuff. And this was their official response to the data I was just showing you guys. So they said, you're right that over 12 million channels have been terminated this year, but it varies. For example, 20 million were terminated in Q4 of 2023. Channels terminated doesn't equal creators terminated. Sometimes a scammy account can have hundreds of channels, which is true. But again, I've been on Twitter as of late, and I am literally reading thousands of people across the last week or two saying their channels have been falsely banned very recently, not 2 years ago, very recently. You know, the companies have realized that actually tailoring their shit to customers will get them more money. Yeah, I mean, I think that customer service is on the lower list of their priorities. I think it's more so about them because, for example, YouTube makes a shitload of money by using AI as well, because obviously AI is much cheaper to hire than an actual human being. And for example, there was another one where this guy laughed in a YouTube video, and they said that it was violating the violent and graphic content policy for YouTube. He laughed in his video. Let me hear, so you guys can hear the audio of this horrific act. This guy laughing.
Yeah.
He laughed.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, dude. The fuck, man. That was very violent and graphic, dude. Don't do that again. So YouTube confirmed that a human being looked at that. I mean, obviously they could be lying, whatever, but they said, we got this one wrong and no, it's been frustrating. In full transparency, this was actually a mistake from human reviewers and the video shouldn't have been age restricted to begin with. We're taking this back to the team so we can figure out how to prevent it from happening again. So a human being listened to him laugh and was like, you know what, buddy? That's fucking violent. Oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. And so I made a tweet about that as well, because, you know, it's been fun to kind of, you know, roast YouTube when they've been getting roasted. But I basically said either way would be bad, right? Let's say they lied and it was AI that reviewed the video. That means the AI did a shitty job. Let's say it was a human that reviewed the video. They should never be allowed to review content ever again. Ever again. If you think that laughing is violent and graphic content, you should never be allowed to review a video ever again. But what I think is, my opinion, is they lied a human being didn't look at this, it was a fucking AI, or it was AI, you know. But yeah, the YouTube reviewers might just be giving up and they don't give a fuck. Well, they should get fired then. I mean, if they don't want to do their jobs properly, they should get fired. I mean, people shouldn't have to get a channel banned or to get their video restricted or whatever just because people are too lazy to do their jobs. You know what I mean? You're shivering because of his laugh. You can't sleep. You're sick to your stomach. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for subjecting you to that horrible, awful behavior. But yeah, that's where YouTube is right now. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's kind of funny how things are going so bad for YouTube right now. And it's aligned with this whole age verification stuff happening in the world right now. It just seems like the internet in general right now is kind of at war with corporations and the government. Are you reliant on YouTube for income? I wouldn't say reliant. I have a real job, but I mean, I make a bit of money off of YouTube, nothing crazy, but a lot of people have asked me to do YouTube full time. I can't. I don't make enough money. So yeah, but that would be cool. I mean, I've definitely dedicated more time to YouTube now than I have in the past. I mean, I used to only upload like one video every 2 weeks on this channel, and now I'm uploading almost every day. And yeah, I appreciate everybody who's been here for the ride. I appreciate everybody who watches, likes, subscribes, comments. Appreciate all you guys. I know I can't read everybody's comments, but you know, everybody taking the time to be here today. How's your guys' Saturdays going, by the way? It is Saturday, right? I gotta go to a Christmas party later tonight. To be honest, not looking forward to it. I'm not a big party person. How's the music, by the way? Too loud, too quiet? But yeah. You're busy with a project earlier on? Like a YouTube project or like a homework project? Thank you guys. Appreciate everybody. What music? It's pretty quiet, but everybody's saying it's a decent volume. All right. Can't hear any music? Can barely hear it. It's fine. That's fine. I'll have it a little quieter. I'd rather you guys hear my super annoying voice. Yeah, it's always good to, you know, look at the brighter side of things. I know it's kind of like a doom and gloom situation on the internet right now, but I mean, hey, you know, life goes on. Thank you, Wooded Tugboat. I appreciate that. But yeah, like, I mean, even for me, you know, with my channel, I hope the content doesn't come across as too negative. It's not my intention. I'm just telling you guys what's going on, you know. And right now, it just so happens that a lot of more negative stuff is happening on the internet. But I mean, we have, you know, good news sometimes. Reddit did sue Australia's social media law in Australia in general. What's called Apple is speaking out against age verification as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. We have some wins every now and then. But obviously, you have to title videos in certain ways for them to get views. For me, what's more important is my message getting across. Obviously, a teeny bit of clickbait is kind of necessary, you know. And, you know, also, I think I tell the truth in my titles anyways. It's just more dramatic, you know. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. You can have you can have a really good thumbnail, but if your title isn't good enough, it won't get any views, and vice versa. You know, you can have a really good title, but if the thumbnail's not, I mean, for me, I want to work on my title and thumbnail game both. I don't think I do that good of a job, but you know, luckily the videos have been doing well recently, which I appreciate. It seems like whenever I make a thumbnail of like a government building, the videos do better. I've noticed that. What's your top advice for making shorts? I have no advice. I don't know how to make shorts, bro. I barely make shorts. I know shorts content is a secret to getting a bunch of subscribers on YouTube, but I prefer long form content. They're introducing A/B title testing. Yeah, that's already a thing. I did an A/B title test for this video. Let me see if I can show you guys that real quick without what's it called? Okay, here we go. I did an A/B title test for this video. So I think this is actually the new title that I came up with. I think my first title was, yeah, right here. Apple fights back against age verification. That was my first title. Very accurate to the point. It explains exactly what happened. But I did an A/B title test. It didn't get clicked as much. I changed it to this. Got clicked a lot more. I mean, that's the game. That's YouTube, man. You know, sometimes when you describe a video too well, like too specifically, the video doesn't do as well, which is pretty unfortunate. Is that why you've been seeing changing titles? That is correct. I mean, sometimes some people just change their titles manually, but if you see a video, like you just watched a video and all of a sudden the title's something else and the thumbnail something else, yeah, it was likely an A/B title test. Will you still use social media even if 230 is repealed? Yeah, I would still use it. It's kind of a part of my quote job, you know, with YouTube. But I would obviously have to be super careful with what I post and stuff. Odyssey would be a much better alternative if it had a reliable source of income. I will give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek here, right? Of something I haven't really said too much in videos. But I'll say it for you guys because you guys are on the live stream. Appreciate everybody. I have been in contact with I think he's like a very high up employee in Odyssey. I think he's like the COO or something. And we've had some discussions. And to be honest, I wanted him to focus more on trying to help the content creators make money, because I'm telling you, nobody is going to go to Odyssey if the people who make videos cannot make money. Odyssey is cool and all, and they have, you know, some good aspects of what they do, but if you cannot make money off the fucking website, why would anybody go there? You know what I mean? And I know it's people are gonna be like, oh, that's greedy or whatever. Dude, guys, you guys gotta understand. Adults, we don't have time to sit here and make videos all day if we can't make money off it. We got fucking bills to pay. We own houses, we rent or whatever, you know, we own cars and whatever. We have to make money. You know, if we can't make money, there's no point in going on the website, right? So right now, Odyssey has no ads, right? And in my opinion, they should have ads. And I know that's going to get some tomatoes thrown at me and people are going to be like, oh, we don't want ads. Dude, I'm talking like one ad every 3 videos, not like YouTube, not like fucking 3 ads per video. You know what I mean? That's too much. But Odyssey needs to have some type of revenue to pull into their website so people will go there. Nobody's going to go over to Odyssey and leave YouTube because it's a new platform unless they can make some sort of money off of it. You know what I mean? So that is very important. And, you know, that's what I was trying to explain to the person who I was talking to. But yeah, in terms of potential, I think Odyssey does have a lot of potential, you know. Thank you, Vin Taro. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think Odyssey does have a lot of potential. I have made an Odyssey account. If I didn't believe in Odyssey, I wouldn't have made an account. It is DeepHumor for those guys who will want to go over there and check it out. I haven't really uploaded on the channel. I've only uploaded once when YouTube fucking, what's it called? When YouTube almost banned me like a month or 2 ago. They gave me a freaking bullshit community guideline strike. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't believe in the website, I wouldn't have even made an account. You know, and I've also been reached out to by Rumble. I mean, I'm sure you guys know this. I've made a video about it. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. Send me presents. But yeah, I believe in Odyssey a lot more than Rumble. And I think that it has a lot of potential and it could do a lot of good things. But really, I mean, it all comes down to revenue at the end of the day. And also, Odyssey does have an option to sync all of your YouTube videos. Like you can sync all of your YouTube videos onto your channel. Ooh, what is this? YouTube creators hit by faulty AI demonetizations and terminations. By the way, YouTube has been on Twitter news for like a month and a half straight now. I mean, this is crazy. So a lot of people are just quote retweeting Mr. Neil, the YouTube CEO, saying that AI will enable a quote new class of creators. I mean, if you want to call them creators, sure, buddy. What's it called? Water break. But somebody over here tweeted, hey guys, I have terrible news. I just got kicked out of YouTube's partner program and their entire channel got demonetized for harmful content involving minors. That's crazy. I don't know what type of content they make though. I don't know, but this is a very common thing that has been happening. Iconic water break. Yeah. You know, you always got to drink some water, you know? But yeah, a lot of people right now, like thousands of people, probably tens of thousands of people right now on Twitter post every single day about their channels getting restricted, terminated, age restricted, striked. I mean, it happened to me. I mean, for me, I experienced the whole bullshit AI ban wave early. I mean, for those of you guys that don't know, I've talked about this before. I got banned in 2022, I think, or 2023. Like, I'm talking permaban from YouTube. Obviously, they ended up rescinding that, but they said that they essentially said I hacked my own channel. They said that someone uploaded some videos on my channel, and those videos were uploaded by a hacker. They showed me which videos, and they were all videos from me. You can still call it Twitter. Yeah, of course. I'm always going to call it Twitter. Who the fuck calls it X? Let's be real here. I think most of us still call it Twitter. You know, it's always going to be Twitter to me. You were a YouTube banned VIP? Yeah, dude. I that's why I feel very passionately about the whole YouTube AI moderation thing. There have been some people who have messaged me like, "Oh, thank you, Deep, for helping out, but you know, you only got a strike. Like, I actually got banned." I'm like, "Actually, buddy, I got banned before some of you guys even made a YouTube channel." I got banned by YouTube today, fucking 3 years ago. You know, so I definitely understand, and it is a very frustrating situation. And I mean, I always say I'm still a nobody right now, right? But at that time, 3 years ago, bro, I had even less viewers and subscribers and stuff like that. And none of that matters anyways. That's all numbers. Having 200K subs or whatever doesn't mean you're a big fucking deal. I'll say that if I ever get lucky to have 1 million subs as well. I mean, it's all just numbers at the end of the day. We're all human beings, you know. YouTube bans automatically now. Yeah, it's been that way for years, and it's especially bad right now. You know, why do we even need to consider repealing Section 230? Oh, it's actually because these governments can further push to force every social media to make age verification. Yeah, I would agree with that. At this point, YouTube is charging you like they have nothing to do in their lives. Yeah, we've had a very rocky relationship. I had almost repaired my relationship with YouTube. We were almost on good footing. And we were supposed, like, if you guys remember that video where I said that I might get an interview with YouTube, a YouTube employee literally told me in DMs, and they said, like I said, like, you should do an interview where, like, you talk candidly about YouTube's problems, right? And they said, I'll find the message for you guys here, but they said that they would be open to the idea of doing an interview with me. And then I think because I kept making tweets making fun of them, I think that they I think they don't want to do the interview anymore. You guys are gonna find I mean, I'm not gonna stop, you know, what's it called, criticizing YouTube when they fuck up. It's not like because they agree to an interview, I'm gonna start kissing their asses. That's not gonna happen, you know. But yeah, what's it called, this was a DM that was sent to me by an employee on YouTube, and it did seem candid. It seemed like a real person wrote this, right? But then what's it called, I got to the point where I asked them if they want to do an interview, and let me see if I can try to find it. Sorry, I'm old. Apparently the top social media is benefited from Section 230. What we know about the Big Five, definitely some reasonable reforms here and there. Yeah, but it shouldn't be repealed, because that means that freedom of speech on the internet would be completely gone. Okay, here we go. Right here. So I asked them if they want to do an interview where we talk candidly about YouTube's problems. And the YouTube employee literally said, I do love the idea of an interview or something real with a creator, so may take you up on that. Now, in fairness, they didn't say that they would, like they didn't agree to it, but they said that they love the idea and maybe they would do it, right? But then I've reached out to them, you know, I followed up. I'm like, yeah, you guys want to, you know, so how about that interview? They fucking left me on red. I'm like, all right, I see how it is. And yeah, I've always had a rocky relationship with YouTube. It is what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can't, like, whether it's with a company or a human being or whatever, you know, you can't kiss their asses. I mean, if you feel like something's wrong, you should speak up, you know. And my videos have never been saying that I want YouTube to go to the shitter or die or whatever. I love YouTube. I just wish that they would do better, you know. And another situation that's happening wrong right now in the world is this whole age verification crap. So I've just been dividing my time making videos on those two things. Actually, my age verification videos are getting a lot more views than my YouTube stuff nowadays. So yeah, why the hell are there ads on live streams? So people can make money and keep their lights on, my friend. But I actually don't control the amount of ads that are on the, well, actually I actually technically can control it, but I left it on the default option of ads, you know. But yeah, I know a lot of people are upset with ads, but like I said, when it comes to Odyssey, they really should consider having ads on their website, because that's the only way they're going to be able to incentivize people to go over there. But But yeah, that is something that Odyssey will have to discuss. I mean, that's kind of part of Odyssey's pitch, though. Another thing that Odyssey does that I don't like, and I've talked about this before, is I don't like that Odyssey doesn't show view counts on the homepage. Like, you can see the view count of a video when you click on it, but for some reason they hide it on the homepage. I'm not a big fan of that personally, but that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the fact that they hide homepages, or do you guys want the views? I mean, I just want information on the video, you know. I'll still watch the video regardless of how many views it has if I feel like it'll be a good video, but I don't like that they try to hide it. Not a big fan of that. You guys agree or disagree? You want the views to be shown? Yeah, I see that. You see an AI thumbnail? Where? Oh, this one? Yeah. You want the dislikes back? Yeah, everybody wants dislikes back on YouTube. Tutorial videos are so hard to, like, you used to be able to tell between the like and dislike bar of a tutorial video whether the tutorial was legit or not, and now you have to sit through the whole damn thing. But yeah, crazy times, man, crazy times. And like I said, if you take a gander through Twitter right now, it is just full of people talking about the fact that their channels have been banned. This tweet just keeps getting quote retweeted, and everybody is roasting YouTube. I had to burp for a second and I muted my mic. Let me know if you want it unmuted next time. But yeah, a lot of people, man, getting copyright strikes, claims, age restrictions. I mean, I talked about my recent age restriction on Twitter, and it was freaking me talking about a certain search term. Let's see if I can find it. It was crazy, man. Oh yeah, right here. So wait, no, it's not this one. So I got age restricted recently, and by the way, the video that they age restricted was uploaded like last year. So they just decided like a month ago that this video is not bad. But in this video, it was a video called "Never Search." I'm not going to say those two words. I'm not going to say the two words because they might age restrict me for saying them. I'm not even joking. So I'm going to say "Never search blank" on YouTube. And I was talking about a search term where if you look it up on YouTube, it gives you a hotline to a certain service that prevents you from harming yourself. I have to be very careful with my words right now, otherwise I'm going to get age restricted again, right? And so because I said these two words, and because I said these two words right here, again, I'm not going to say it, right? I would abbreviate it as ED, but then it sounds like erectile dysfunction. But these two words right over here, I got age restricted. Of course, I tried to appeal it. I don't have to tell you guys the results of the appeal. I think you guys already know. So yeah, that's the type of shit that's going on YouTube nowadays. And if you expect me to believe that a human being looked at that and said, wow, he said two words, you know, in relation to a YouTube search term, we should age restrict him. I mean, you're crazy. There's no way. I mean, it could be a human, obviously, but I think it's fucking AI. It's always AI. But yeah, that's where YouTube is. That's where the world is right now. Anybody got any other questions or anything like that? I just saw the stream show up on my recommend. Did a quick Google search. Should we be worried about this actually passing? Because it does sound scary. I mean, you should always be worried, but it's not. You shouldn't be worried to the point where you're like losing sleep over it. But we should try to fight back against it. You know what I mean? I said this earlier in the stream. I'm a glass half full type of person. So I think that everything will be okay eventually. But that doesn't mean that we don't fight against it. You know what I mean? And it's something as simple as making a YouTube video talking about it or talking to your local lawmakers. I mean, it's something I said earlier in the stream, and I've said in other videos too. If you have a problem with a law, reach out to your local lawmakers in whatever city you live in, the state, country, whatever. Send them an email. Believe it or not, I mean, not like you're going to get a personal tailored response by every one of them, but believe it or not, they actually do read those emails because they don't get too many emails, you know? A lot of people say, this law is bad, and then they do nothing about it. You know what I mean? If you don't actually do something about it, then obviously the politicians have no pushback against their bullshit. Do you think that age verification would unfortunately be a success and pass, or be a failure and not pass? I think that age verification, I thought age verification would pass, like, you know, internationally when it came to adult websites. I did not think that YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and everything would have age verification eventually. That was something I did not expect. So it's a pretty unfortunate situation. Thank you for the clarification. Sometimes I just can't help but worry for people that I hang out with over the internet and game with. I'm just the type of person. Yeah, that's good for you. And I definitely do think that it should be something that we should be worried about, in the sense of we should try to stop it. But like, you know, in terms of like letting it consume your entire life, I mean, there's going to be certain things that happen in the world where we're not going to be able to control it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have conversations with friends who say, oh, have you ever heard that this asteroid might hit the Earth in 2045 and it could kill everybody? Why the fuck would I worry about that? I mean, if we can't do anything about it, we can't do anything about it, right? And that's not going to happen, by the way. I made that up, but you get my point. That I'm not someone who sits here and like loses sleep over things that I can't control. You know, as humans, all we can do is band together and try our best. But you know, sometimes some things happen that we can't control, and it's pretty unfortunate. But in this situation, I do think that we can control it. You know, I think that this is something that we can actually try to stop. And even if we can't stop it, at least we said that we tried. At least we tried. You know, that's the way I see it. But yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things to be happy about. There's holiday season coming soon. A lot of you guys are going to be off of school. Some people will take some time off from work. It's a good time to travel, chill, hang out, you know. I mean, there's a lot worse things that we ourselves could be going through. And that's what I always try to tell myself when I get a little bit down about what's going on the internet, you know. I mean, for example, most of us have 2 arms, 2 legs. We have eyeballs. We can speak. You know, these are a lot of things that people take for granted that not everybody has the privilege of having, you know. If you're listening to this stream right now, you have access to some type of internet. You either have a phone, you have a computer, you know, you're likely in a house or an apartment or something, you know, like it's always good to be grateful, man. That's the way I see it. So that's the type of stuff that I try to think about when I'm looking at some of this shitty internet stuff. UK is trying to get VPN companies to add age verification. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of laws involving VPNs right now. VPNs are, you know, being discussed to be banned in certain states and countries. In fact, I think I've made a few videos about it. Pretty sure I have. Yeah, right here. Government wants to ban VPNs. And it was a proposal in Michigan, which is a state in the United States, where they are proposing banning VPNs. So it's going to be a very difficult law to moderate, because it's pretty difficult to ban VPNs. But yeah, that is a very scary situation. Yeah, that's your state. That's where you live. Yeah, I mean, remember, Mr. Big 200. It's a proposal. It hasn't happened yet, but the governments do want to ban VPNs. I mean, that is a fact. So, but that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. If they get enough backlash, and you know, those are things that could end up not going through. I mean, remember that these types of laws, this isn't the only time these types of laws have been presented. A lot of these laws have been presented and not gone through because of public backlash. What's up, IFLA on Twitch? Might go back to old modern computers and laptops. Yeah. It's an interesting situation in the world right now, but hey, you know, like I said, all we can do is try our best to stop this from happening. And if it happens, then hey, it is what it is, man. As long as we try. Can't worry so much then. Yeah, I mean, you know, you always should try your best to stop something that you don't want happening from happening. But if it happens, what are you going to do about it? You know, that's just my viewpoint. I mean, obviously, you guys can interpret that how you will, but alrighty. I can't really think of any questions or anything. Thanks for the content. I'll keep trying to help you. Hey, thank you, Dr. Jukebox. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for your support, dude. You don't even have a government ID? Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people don't even have a government ID to provide. But still, social media and all these websites and all that, they still ask for it. Yeah. All right, we are around the hour and a half mark here, and I've just kind of been yapping for the last 20, 30 minutes. So I think I will call it a day there. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on. Sometimes YouTube doesn't really push out my videos too much. Thank you to Salmon Smoked, MSF, and Zuko for the donation. Special thanks to Bite Deity for the numerous donations, A Boy Named Blue, and It's Terran X for not only donating, but also becoming a channel member. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on. Be sure to follow me on Twitter if you want to see me roast YouTube. And yeah, thank you for being here. Have a great day. Bye, guys.